Hey babes, it's Jenni here with ChronicBabe.com, and this is another AWAP Wednesday video. If you haven't been with us before, AWAP stands for as well as possible, and in all things I do with ChronicBabe, that is my wish for you, that you are as well as possible in every moment, that you kick ass every day in spite of being sick, because I know you can. Today's question comes from a fellow ChronicBabe, as usual. Here's what she writes. Dear Jenni, I hope you're AWAP. I hope you're AWAP too. I have a question for your videos. How do you deal with non-chronically ill people who are ill? Often my friends complain of fatigue and feeling run down from colds, etc. And I find it really difficult not to compare their illnesses, these are her quotes, to my everyday life and point it out, sometimes insensitively, that they are lucky not to feel like that all the time, or that they are well enough to have a job, which is why they are tired when I'm not. I know their pain and troubles are completely legitimate. It's just really hard to remember when I'm confined to my flat or my bed. Hey babe, this is a question I think a lot of us can relate to, and trust me, I've had many opportunities over my years with chronic illness to think, oh my gosh, you're so lucky that that's all you have, or try feeling that way for 10 years, or you know, the various things that we think sometimes when we hear somebody complain like, oh, I've got a boo-boo, or they have a legitimate complaint like, oh wow, I'm really having like serious knee problems or whatever. I know our tendency can sometimes be to fall into that place where we want to compare, and we might be feeling bitter or angry or frustrated because we have been feeling like shit for so long. So I understand where you're coming from, but I gotta give you a little tough love right now because I want you to shut that shit down. I'm gonna give you a couple suggestions. So let's get real about the nature of illness and suffering in our lives. Every living being, every human is going to experience pain or discomfort or illness at some point in their life. Some of us experience it a lot more, but each of us is entitled to have our own illness experience. This is not something that is really comparable. We can't say, well, you're entitled to feel like crap, but you're not entitled to feel like crap. All of us feel like crap at some point or another. Now imagine if you were complaining, say, to an acquaintance or a friend at a party, and you walked up and you were like, gosh, I feel like crap. I'm like so symptomatic today. My flare-up is really bad. It's even worse than usual. And they turned to you and said, well, at least you don't have my terminal diagnosis. Like, you would feel like crap. You would feel terrible because what they've got is worse than you. And you would probably feel hurt that they were upset, or that they felt bitter, or that they compared, or that they felt like your experience was diminished in light of their experience. So I hope you can just kind of start to think of that, about how it would feel for you if someone came back to you with a comment that was that their experience was worse than yours. I think it would feel pretty crappy. I know I've certainly had that happen to me, and it feels like crud. You know, your friends love you and support you, and healthy relationships need to have room for both parties to complain and to vent. This is part of healthy relationships. So I encourage you to try to listen with a compassionate heart when a friend is having an issue that's health related. How can we expect our friends to listen to us with a compassionate and open heart and support us if we can't listen to them when they are having their moment, when they feel like crap? We've got to make it reciprocal. It's also really bad for our spirit to constantly think about ourselves being worse off than other people. It is really disheartening, and it can be a real bummer to walk around all the time thinking, oh, it's worse for me, things are worse for me, I have it the worst that anybody can have it. I mean, if I walked around feeling that way all the time and thinking that way all the time, I would probably stop getting out of bed in the morning. I mean, it would just be a huge bummer. So that kind of bitterness and irritation is not something that's going to help you keep going every day as a chronic babe. Over the years, I've had a couple people in my life kind of teach and reteach me this lesson. I have one person in my life who I've known a really long time who really had never had serious health issues. And then she was in a car accident and she was experiencing chronic back pain for more than a year, and it was really difficult for her. And yes, there were times when she was complaining about it that I would think in my head, oh my gosh, I've been feeling that way every day for 15 years or whatever, but I didn't say it because she needed space to talk about her experience. And then a few months into that experience for her, she said to me, you know, Jenni, I feel like I understand how your life is in a deeper way now, and I'm so sorry that you feel like this all the time. It's really, really hard. And in that moment, we actually bonded in a much stronger way than we had before, because I felt like she understood me. She felt like I understood her, and we were able to really connect in a deeper way and really respect each other and hear each other and support each other. And it's done wonders for our relationship. So having that open heart and open ear and open mind and like listening to people, I mean, it can be really revolutionary in your relationships. So babe, in answer to your question, I urge you to listen to your friends when they're having trouble with illness or fatigue or pain. Listen to them with an open mind and heart. Give them the space and support they need. Try to avoid comparing your suffering with their suffering. It only causes more suffering and it doesn't help your relationship. I think if you can keep practicing this, it will get easier, and you'll find that your relationships with your friends will become stronger and more loving and more supportive. And if you're still thinking in your head, if you're still thinking, oh, it's so much harder for me, it's so much harder for me, keep it in your head, okay? Keep it inside, because if you say that out loud, you're just gonna hurt them and you're gonna damage your relationship and make it harder to have a deep, abiding friendship. Okay, babes, a little tough love today in today's AWAP Wednesday video. This is a topic I feel really strongly about, and I hope this was helpful for you. I would love to hear about your experience. Have you practiced this? Have you experienced a relationship with someone where it was difficult, where you felt like you were comparing? How did you handle that? I would love to know. So if you're not already at ChronicBabe.com, hop on over to the site, find this blog post, and add your story in the comments. We have a robust conversation happening there all the time. I really want to hear your story. It's super important for all of us to share our experience and learn from each other. While I've got you here, I want to let you know about two things. I've got a free weekly newsletter, and if you sign up, you will be the first to know about all kinds of things like blog posts, videos, contests, giveaways, expert interviews. I've got a book coming out in the next few months. I want you to be the first to know. So make sure you sign up for the free newsletter at chronicbabe.com, and when you do that, you'll get a 30-page toolkit that's packed with resources for living a kick-ass life in spite of illness. The second thing I want to tell you about is our Chronic Babe Secret Club. I started it as an experiment a few months ago, and it went so well that I expanded it. And so now we have this nice, solid crew of women helping each other, supporting each other, learning from each other. And from me, you get weekly emails around a specific topic. Like this month, it's about sex, guilt, and rock and roll. And we have a teleseminar, expert interviews, resources, playlists, all kinds of stuff designed to help you learn and grow and become the strongest kick-ass chronic babe you can. So for more on that, head to chronicbabe.com/secret club. Okay, that's it for me today. I hope you've loved this AWAP Wednesday video. I'm really happy to get this message out there. As always, I'm eager to hear your comments and thoughts, so don't be shy. Until we meet again, be AWAP. Mwah. Beep. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.